Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this bracelet. And in this bracelet we're using Superduo beads. And last week I did a video all about seed beads and different beads. And I mentioned Superduos. And we are going to do this in peyote stitch. Now 2 weeks ago I did a video doing a little ring with peyote stitch. So this is just going to be peyote stitch using Superduo beads, and they're 2 whole beads. I will link both of those videos in the description box for you, so if you haven't seen them, you can go ahead and take a look at that. So if that's something you'd be interested in, please give this video a like, come on back, and we'll get started. Okay, so we're going to use 2 different colors of Superduo beads. I've got like a lava red bead, and this is an AB finish. An AB means Aurora Borealis, and this has different shades of reds and golds and even other shades in there. So we're going to use those. We're going to need about, I think, 8 O's, some 11 O's, 2 wire guards, 2 jump rings, and I'm using this beautiful clasp. My thoughtful daughter Stephanie gave me a gift card for Eureka Crystal Beads for my birthday, and this is one of the many things I got with it, and I just am so excited to use that. So thread your needle with a comfortable amount of thread, put a stop bead on it, and we'll get started. Okay, so we're going to start by picking up 1 Superduo, and I always check the holes to make sure they're unclogged, because sometimes when they're making the holes do get clogged, and it's just easier for your piece if you check it beforehand so you don't have to go back and tear anything out. So pick up 1 Superduo, 1 8-0, another red Superduo, another 8-0, one of the other color, which is the Aurora Borealis with different shades of red and gold, another 8-0, another Aurora Borealis or AB bead, another 8-0, another red Superduo, another 8-0, and another red Superduo. So this is what's on your needle. Superduo 8-0, Superduo 8-0, Superduo 8-0, Superduo 8-0, Superduo 8-0, Superduo. So there's 6 Superduos with an 8-0 in between. So you're going to bring that down to your stop bead. And we're going to start peyote stitch. Now once I get going, you'll see it's so much easier to see peyote now when you're working with Superduo beads, because they're a little bit longer than regular beads and they automatically stick out. So we're going to pick up 2 11-O's, and this is going to decorate the side of the bracelet and act as something to cover the thread with. So you pick up the 2 11-O's, one of your Superduos, and you're going to go back and sew up the other side of that first Superduo. Now it's a little wonky. Most projects to begin with are wonky until you get going. So what you're going to do next, you're always going to go pick up the color of the bead that you're going to be sewing into. So we're going to pick up another Superduo and sew into the top of the next red Superduo. Okay, so the next color is the AB bead. We're going to pick up one of those and sew into the top of that one. We have another AB just kind of flop them around to make them lay right so you can tell where you're sewing into. Pick up another AB, sew into the top of that Superduo. Now we're back to the reds. Pick up a red, sew into the top. One more red, and sew into that last bead. And this is what you have. This is your first row. So what you're going to do, I usually just flip it, and you're going to start your next row. And you're always sewing into the color on this particular pattern that you're going into. So I'm going to pick up, remember we're doing 2 11-ohs on the side, a Superduo, and you're starting your next row, so you're going to come in and go through the top of that next Superduo. Pick up another red, and now we're going into the AB beads. So pick up an AB, make sure you keep the tension snug, but not so tight that it bunches them up together. Then we're going to pick up another, let's do one with a little bit more red on it. Another AB. And like I said, you're going into the bead that you're taking the color of the bead that you're sewing into. Now we're going back to the red. And then one more red. And there you go. Now you have 2 rows done. And as you can kind of see already, it's going to be like the 2 sides are going to be red with a nice little shiny AB color running down the middle. So let's do some more. Let's flip it. You're going to pick up your 2 11-ohs, your red, because you're going into the red, and you're going to go into the top of that first one on the next row. Pick up another red. You're going into the second one. Now we're back to the AB. Pick up one of your AB Superduos. So into the top of that next one. See what I mean about it being so much easier to see the peyote sticking out beads when it's a Superduo? Get your thread cut. Okay, one more AB. So into the next bead. Going to pick up a red. So into the next red Superduo, the top of that. And then your last one on this row. we're going to flip it and start our next row. When you start the next row, you always pick up the 2 11-ohs, because that's what's going to decorate the side. See, if you didn't have these 2 11-ohs here, you would see the thread, and that would still be okay, but it's just something I like to do, and a lot of people like to do that on the sides of Superduo projects. So we're picking up 2 11-ohs, a red Superduo. We're going to go sew into that first Superduo on the previous row and pull. Pick up another red. Sew into that next red one. Going back to the AB, sew into the top of that AB Superduo. One more AB. Another red. And another red. Now this, using Superduos also works up pretty quick. So you're gonna just do this for the length of your bracelet, which for me is usually about 6 1/4 inches, and then I leave the rest for a clasp. This clasp is a little bit bigger than my usual toggle, so I might stop it at like exactly 6 or maybe a little bit under 6 inches. So we'll get to the end of the bracelet, come on back, and we will put the clasp on. Okay, so I've come to the length of my bracelet. I'm really happy how that turned out with the AB Superduos running down the middle. So I'm at the very end of my bracelet, and I'm going to show you how I finish it off. Now, to make it match the other side with the 2 11-ohs there, I'm going to go ahead and pick up 2 11-ohs. Just 2 11-ohs this time, not another Superduo. And we're going to go in to the top of that Superduo. Okay, and then we're going to go and take an 8-0, and we're going to match this other side where we put the 8-ohs in between each Superduo. Now, I think I might have mentioned we need 8-ohs, but we really need 10. So we're going to put an 8-0 in between each Superduo. So that's 5 on each side. Okay, so now we've finished off our bracelet. We've got both ends done. And what we're going to need to do now is I'm going to go back through the thread bridge and come up to this middle 8-0 to put the wire guard on. So to do that, I'm going to go backwards and just kind of snake around the beads till you can come up through and be on either one of the sides of this 8-0. Okay, so now I've sewn back through a lot of the beads. I'm going to go on into the bottom of this AB Superduo right here. And then I'm just going to reverse direction by sewing back up through the Superduo here and the 8/0. Okay, so because we have 5 8/0s, I know that this middle one here is the center. So that's where I'm going to put the wire guard. I'm just going to take our wire guard, go up through one end, bring that down, sew through the other side, and then we're going to go back through that 8/0 like this. And we're going to reinforce that. We're going to reinforce that one more time. So sew back up. Go back down the other side. And then we're going to go through. This was a little bit wobbly, so I think I'm gonna make one more pass through that wire guard. The clasp is one of the most used parts of the bracelet, so I always err on the side of making it as strong as possible. And there we go. We've got the wire guard on, and I'm just going to put a jump ring on and one end of the clasp. So to tie off this thread, all we're going to do is go through, let's go through some of the seed beads or the Superduo beads. And we'll tie a few half-hitch knots and then burn that thread off. So I'm coming out of the top of this one. I'm going to just reverse direction and go through the bottom of this one, which you can do because that's following the thread path. Okay, so we're coming out of the top of this one. Let's just go into the bottom of this Superduo and the top of the next one. All right, so now I'm going to start my half-hitch knots. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that thread in between. So that's a thread bridge. Tie a half-hitch knot. And then we're going to sew through some more beads. Tie another half-hitch knot and do that maybe one more time after that. And then you can burn your thread off. Here we go. We're coming out of that bottom one. Go through the top one. Turn around. Go through the bottom hole of that Superduo. Let's go through the top of the next one. I'm going to tie another half-hitch knot. And then go through another couple of beads. Let's go through the top of that one. And then I'm going to, I think I'm going to do one more 1/2 inch knot. Sew through some more beads. All right, now I feel comfortable enough that my thread is woven back in that I can burn that off. So just take your thread burner, burn that off. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take off the stop bead, thread this thread this side, and snake my way to the middle bead and put the wire guard on this side. Okay, so we've got both of our wire guards on. Now you could certainly use seed beads to do loops if you want. It's something I just like to use, the wire guards. I find it very sturdy. Plus it gives it a nice finished look. So we're going to pick up the jump ring. This one here is a 4mm. Not sure if I'm going to have to use a 6mm. Remember, we open it like a door. Like this, not like that. And then we're going to put it on one end of the wire guard. I'm going to go up the loop of this beautiful toggle that I got with the gift card my sweet daughter gave me. And then we just close that up. And we've got one end of our clasp on. Oh, that looks cute. I love that toggle. We're going to do the other side. Open your jump ring. Put on the other end of the toggle and go through your wire guard. Close that jump ring up. And there we go. I'm going to put this on. So here's the finished bracelet with that new toggle. I just love how it turned out. And I love the contrast of the two colors. I'll leave all of the materials I used in the description box and places to buy beads. Now, I get a lot of my beads on Eureka Crystal Beads website and Fire Mountain Gems, but you can find Superduo beads at either Michael's or Joann's. I've gotten them there. There's not as many colors as online, but you can still get them. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and I'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I will see you next time.